Hi everyone, welcome to AICE Psych. I'm Miss M, and today we're going to talk about Piliavin's Subway Samaritan, but we're only going to talk about the staple and the independent variables, okay? So, Subway Samaritan has the largest population with 4,450 people. They're all coming from New York, specifically the Bronx, Harlem area. That's where we did the experiment. And they're all coming from like 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. during the daytime, somewhere in the summer months, I think around June and July. That's when the experiment was done. We do have some information on the demographics of our population, but it was all speculated because of just our observers. So when I tell you that we have a 45% Black population and a 55% white population, that's just based on observation. Okay, but that is important to know because our results at the end, it's going to mirror those numbers. So those numbers are going to be important because we're basically going to find out whether or not we are helping someone within our own race more than someone not within our own race, so to speak. Okay, so that brings us to what our independent variables are. Now we have 3 independent variables. Now our model could have been either drunk or ill. So we're going to say the type of victim they were, drunk or ill. We can say the race of the victim, so whether our victim was Black or white. And then we also have the model condition. So the model condition could be any one of 4 possible conditions. Now, you could be in the adjacent cart, which was the cart that was not where the victim fell, but the one you could kind of walk through a doorway and there was another portion of the cart. So it wasn't blocked off by a door or anything. It was just further away. So we're going to call that the adjacent cart. And then we have a critical area. Okay. So adjacent is further away from the actual accident, and then critical is right by the accident. Now we have an early and we also have a late run. So our model citizen. So basically, our model citizen is there to come to the aid of our victim if none of the participants do. Now, we can have a critical early, which our model is in the same cart next to our victim, and they come running. If no one comes running after 70 seconds, they come running. So that's critical early. Critical late means they wait 150 seconds and then they come running if no one comes to aid our victim. Same with adjacent, but you're in the opposite side of the cart. So adjacent early, you come running after 70 seconds. Adjacent late, you come running after 150 seconds. But when you look at the results of this, you're not going to find a lot of information on the late, adjacent, or critical. And that's because people came to aid our victim. They came to help. We didn't find many instances where nobody was moving. So we didn't actually need a lot of those critical and adjacent late trials that we thought we would. Why is this? Well, I'm guessing the longer someone waits without help, the more uncomfortable people start to get, and then maybe they're going to jump in and maybe help. So that's what we saw, that people help. So we didn't have to use those often. All right. So what are we measuring? There's a lot of quantitative and qualitative data in this study that we're measuring. Remember, we had 2 female observers here. So yes, they're taking down the data of gender, they're taking down data of ethnicity, but they also are taking down qualitative data of the comments and the things that are being said within the cart while, this accident is occurring. Mostly it was women that were talking, because what you'll find is that mostly men came to aid in the rescue of our victim, who happened to be male too, so that could have had something to do with it. But women were saying things like, that's for a man to do, or I wish I was stronger, I wish I could help, but I can't. So basically just making excuses out loud to why that they couldn't help. All right. So quickly, let's go over our sample again. We have 4,450 participants, 45% Black and 55% white. They're all from New York, Harlem/Bronx area. Remember that when we are generalizing. Okay. Our independent variable, we have victim type. So are they drunk or are they ill? We have whether they are Black or white. So they could have been Black and they could have been drunk, or they could have been Black and white victim, or they could have been I'm sorry, not a black and a white victim. Did I say that? They could have been a black and a drunk victim, or a black and an ill victim, or they could have been a white and drunk, white and ill. Does that make sense? Okay. There was actually only one gentleman who was black in this whole experiment as the experimenter, so he had to do all the black drunk trials. He got really tired of being labeled or being seen as the drunk black guy. So if you look in your data, there's a lot less trials of drunk black because he took it upon himself to not do them. He was uncomfortable doing it. All right, a little tidbit information. Okay, there's the sample and the variables for you. I hope this helps. If you need a little bit more information, just go watch my video on Piliavin. I explain it a little bit in more detail, lengthier. If you need more help with any of these studies, send me an email at apsychology9990@gmail.com. You can ask for access to my Google Classroom. It was the same Google Classroom that I have for my regular students. It has access to everything that you will need. Okay? So thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day, guys. Thanks.